All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we got a pretty lighthearted, chill video today. We got 4 games on the sim. One's going to be Gecko Moria, like you see on the screen here. The next one's going to be Black Yellow Linlin, and then Red Purple Uta, and then finally Yellow Linlin, just mono yellow, Big Mom Pirates as the last video. And I'll have all of it time-stamped down in the comment section below. But real quick before we get started, please do not forget to update your sim. Okay, the sim was updated last night. At the time of recording this video, it was updated last night. I'll have the link down in the comment section below for you to keep that updated and check out some new cards and all that good stuff. Okay, so that's what we got lined up for today. I almost had a video ready for you guys today on kind of like a part 2 of a deck building video, but couldn't quite get it done in time. I don't want to rush it out and be kind of, more on the low quality side, but we're working on that now. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and dive into this. Let me make sure the volume is off. The speed is at 2x. And yeah, first game here, Gecko Moria versus Blue Yellow Queen. So I do really enjoy playing Gecko Moria, but at the same time, it's not exactly my style with the black cards. Like, I really like what Navy does, and this is kind of Navy, right? It's like 50-50, right? 50% Navy, 50% Thriller Bark, and some cards in between, obviously. But it's one of those decks that's kind of just it's doing a different theme by like playing with the trash, using Gecko Moria, the leader, and the character to recur cards back. And it's not exactly what I wanted, and that's what turned me away from playing Blue Black Sakazuki as much in OP05 or whatever it was when it just came out, where it was like, okay, not really what I was going for. Of course, it was incredible. I'm not saying it was bad. It's just not exactly my style. But either way, this Gecko Moria list here, it just feels very solid right now, and so does Sakazuki. Sakazuki still feels very good as well. All right, so back to the game. The first part of this game is just boring, guys. That's what Queen is just trying to get to the late game. I'm just trying to get to the late game in one piece. The most important thing I need to do in a late game, if I'm planning on going late game against someone as Gecko Moria, my #1 goal is to fill up the trash and to get as much value as possible. However, it's very dangerous playing with this many cards in my hand against a blue, any deck that runs blue, because if they hit me with a pudding right now, I'm losing 3 cards pretty much, or excuse me, 2 cards right now. So that's very dangerous. Okay, so he swings 5 into my Hina. I'm just going to block out there. I'm trying to get cards out of my hand in case he does have a pudding. He does the Sanji combo into Yamato, popping my hog back, and now he has a very strong board, and I have a lot of work to do. So swing 5 at leader here. I need to play out Gecko Moria. I don't really have another choice here. I mean, I don't know. There are other options, but playing out Gecko Moria just seems like the right call here. I don't have any cost reducers in my hand, which is unfortunate, but I do have some good stuff I can get back from the trash. I have a blocker on the board. I have a very full hand. Now I've got a cost reducer, so I should be able to at least survive this turn. Okay, swing 7 at leader. He takes it, no trigger. He's at 5 cards in hand, so he's going to have to play a lot out of his hand in order to gain life. For those who don't know what Queen does, Blue Yellow Queen, the leader, it says if you have 4 or less cards in your hand and life, so together, like in other words, if you had 2 cards in hand and 2 cards in life, then you could use the effect. Dawn ×1 when attacking, gain a life if you have a 8 cost or higher character in play. Otherwise, you can just draw a card. So he swings 9. This is a good time to use Rebecca or counter out. Excuse me, I can actually counter out of that very easily. Fill up my trash for my next Gecko Moria. The other next best option would have been to play Rebecca there. But it was very important that I save my board presence because I don't want to lose all my cards. Okay, so I have the Gecko Moria play here where I can just absolutely get rid of one of these huge characters, right? Let's see what we get here. Okay, so we got a Great Eruption. Now we're going to do, so -2 to his 3 cost guy. That's perfect. Then we're going to play out the Ice Age to drop the 9 cost character down to 4. Play out Gecko Moria, getting back a Helmeppo and a Lucci, which is going to allow me to pop a 9 cost and a 3 cost very, very easily. So that was ideal, right? Now I'm swinging 9 into his Sanji, getting 2 cards out of hand because he had the 0 cost 3k counter. I have a blocker on the board. I'm feeling pretty comfortable now, but I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of counter power. Okay, he does play out Katakuri, which I don't think Katakuri is very good into Queen personally, because he just gave me a life there. Otherwise, he could have had me down to 0 potentially if I hadn't used my blocker. I just don't think Katakuri is that great with Queen. I'm not saying it's bad. I just think there's a better option there. Like, where's his Mihawk? Is he playing me? Is he playing? Because, okay, typically they run 10, 8 cost and higher characters. So he probably has 4 Sanji, 4 Yamato, and 2 Katakuri. So why not? I would just run Mihawk there, personally. That's just the way that I'd go about it. Okay, so I'm going to swing 11 into a Sanji. He can't defend this because he only has 1 card in hand. And if I can get rid of this, what's his name here, the Katakuri, well, that's that, right? He can't gain life anymore, because a condition for the leader's effect to gain life requires there to be an 8 cost or higher character in play. So what I was considering there was trying to play out, like, you know, Great Eruption and Helmeppo to Brooks the Katakuri off the board, but I didn't actually have enough Dawn to do that because I put 11 in. I put 2 on my Gecko to take out the Sanji to guarantee it was KO'd. So he gets out another Yamato. He's swinging in here. I don't really want to go down to 0 life here, but I might have to, is my thought process here. But if I block out, I can get a blocker back later in the game. Like that's kind of what I was thinking here, is I can always just get stuff back later. He has nothing more he can do this turn. He just played Yamato. It's going to be my turn when he passes back, and I can finally just get rid of this, right? I can just absolutely get rid of this board, because I can Great Eruption, -2 there. Then we can... First, I should have swung. That was what I should have done first, just to get a card out of hand. He didn't have it, so it's gone. Now we're going to Helmeppo, and we're going to Brook the Yamato, and I'm in pretty good shape now. It's kind of scary swinging into some of these decks that do rely on triggers, because I only have 1 life. Right? I don't want him to just start getting a lot of cards that you know, like potentially like a Sanji, for example. Because if he gets Sanji right here, I basically could lose the game. I have a lot of counter power in hand, but why would I? You know, I don't want to risk something like that. Like, that is a lot of counter power, to be honest. But you guys know what I'm saying. It's not worth the risk. But sometimes you do at least have to see. There we go. He just got a Bow Hancock. Now it's like, okay, you know, this is a little bit scary all of a sudden. But I can also use that to my advantage too, right? By baiting his attacks out. Like, if I take this hit right here, I could have him go, as long as he uses at least 1 Dawn on his Queen, where he has 9 left, I can bait him into attacking full in out for 10k on my leader, because I can get out of a 10,000 power attack with 2k counters. Okay, I think he just did a Red Rock there. Plays out another Bow Hancock, and now he's going to try and take out my Lucci. I really don't want to give him the Lucci. Like, honestly, I should be able to try to end the game next turn. So it's like, but you know, there's definitely an argument for not saving the Lucci there. Like, just keeping the counter power in hand and just going everything at face here. But, you know, I think that way worked out fine. And just so happens I got lucky, got another 2k counter. So now it's like, okay, I want to try and close out here. I don't really have a lot of other options. So he's going to swing. I'm going to swing for 7 at face here with a 1 Dawn investment. That should get 1 card off the board or 1 card out of life. Swing 7 more with another Dawn investment. He's got to start giving me cards or blockers here. Like, he doesn't really have another choice. So right here, I'm going to have to load up 7. I just want to get every card off his board. That's my logic here. It's like, okay, let's just go 7, 7, 9, or whatever it ends up being. I think this was kind of a risky play. I think I should have gone 7. So that way it either gets all the cards out of his hand, you know, or else. You know what I mean? But it turns out he doesn't have a 2k counter since he did that. And then he just stops out. So what I should have done there, realistically, I wonder if I was thinking... I was actually... Okay, I just thought of it. I was going to try to get all of his cards off the board by playing out a Suru to -2 to one of the Boa Hancocks, and then slam out an Absalom from my trash to KO the other one with the one that I reduced from Suru. That was probably my thought process there, but I don't know. It seemed a little risky at the end. Okay, that was a long game. Next game. We got Black Yellow Linlin versus Blue Green Sanji, Zoro and Sanji here. Let me get this on 2x speed, and we can go get to it here. Okay. So, this is my baby, Black Yellow Linlin. I have to get a few more games in on this before I swap over to Black Yellow Luffy or Red Yellow Ace. Black Yellow Luffy and Red Yellow, not Red Yellow Ace, excuse me, Red Yellow Sabo. Those are going to be my 2 primary decks going forward once they are finally released. Okay, so he gets a pretty nice, you know, start to his game here by playing out the Sanji, because that card can get pretty big. I'm thinking about countering out early here against. I know what blue-green Sanji can, Zoro and Sanji can do, so I am not gonna take too many hits that I don't have to take if I can counter out of them effectively. Like if I can 2K out of a 6K attack, I'm gonna do that right now because number one, he could be playing pudding, and number two, this deck can start swinging 7s across the board very quickly. You do have to respect that about the deck, or at least be able to remove whatever it has, so you don't have to deal with it. Okay, and of course, as Black Yellow Linlin, I can't really remove stuff like that. Okay, he swings for 6 here. I'm like, okay, 2K counter, no problem. Now he's going to do everything again. He's going to do a 6K attack there, and I get a Thunderbolt. Guys, I've been really leaning towards more triggers in Black Yellow Linlin. Like, I believe in the deck I'm running right here, I think I'm running 4 Thunderbolts and 4 Onamis. Because I like the fact that, okay, Black Yellow Linlin does a lot of life cycling. So the chances of you getting a Thunderbolt or an Onami are pretty high. You know, it's like, what, 20% chance? If 8 out of my 50 cards in the deck are Onami/Thunderbolt, then I have a pretty good chance of hitting them from trigger. Okay, and the more life I can generate over the course of the game, the better. All right, so I do a Sabo here. I just want to get a card down, you know, that can block for me in case he does something crazy, and I get Tinlin. Yeah, and that's, I think that card might be a little too slow against this matchup unless I can get enough board control. We'll have to see what he does here. He plays out Emporio Ivankov. So this is a version of the deck that I do not run. I do not think this is a very good version of the deck. No offense to this guy. I have no idea who I'm playing against. But I don't think this is a very good version of the deck. Not saying it's... I shouldn't say that it's not good, because I don't want to say it's a bad version. I just think there is a better version of the deck. So there he swings out with Sanji. That was a mistake. I guess he meant to put a Dawn on that card. But no, he messed that up. So it's like, okay, I get a free attack there. I'm going to go 5 into face here. And you should swing with Borsalino because he can just bounce the Borsalino back with that Luffy's ability, the 6-cost Luffy's ability. So Hiyori there. I'm just going to set my top life card as something else. I was just getting a card out of my hand so I can get a 2K counter from life or whatever I could potentially get and set something at the top of my life. I typically, with Hiyori, unless I have another game plan, I take the bottom life and then I'll put a top life back on. Okay, so he's going to trash 2 cards from hand here to use this Luffy's effect to bounce back probably my Fukuro, if I had to guess. Yeah, he bounces back Fukuro, and then he's going to swing 7 with double attack. I actually just counter out for a 2K and a 1K. The Fukuro he just gave me, I'll just use that like it was a blocker with a 2K. Now, what he can do here, it looks like he doesn't really know what he wants to do, to be honest. Like he's not sure how to pilot the deck. This might be a newer player. But long story short, there's a new 6-cost, 7,000 power, 1K counter what's his name? Inazuma coming out. That might allow for this version of the blue-green Zoro Sanji deck to work. The list I'm currently working on, I should have a video out on it sometime, probably in a few weeks or a week or so, is blue-green Zoro and Sanji with film package. That feels very strong. Okay, so I give him a 1K counter there to save my Borsalino. And now he's going to be able to do the effect again if he wants to with that Luffy, but swinging for way more this time. It only can hit a 4 or less. So, okay, I'm just going to use my Sabo blocker there. And guess what? He commits the cardinal sin here. He has tapped out his board. He has no cards in hand. So anything that I swing into his board is dead. Like, there's no way to save it. I just get a free turn here. He's in top deck mode. And now I get to develop my board a little bit. Okay, so right here, I do, what's her name? I did that so fast I know what just happened. I did Hiyori to put I basically set my top life card as Kikanojo. So when he attacks at my life this turn, yep, I'll take that. Thank you very much. And now, again, because he has no cards in hand, he's just, you can't survive, right? So swing 5, swing 6 here. I should have swung 7. That was just lazy. That's fine. Either way, nothing can stop this, you know, big bomb, and then 9 at face. Did it the fancy way. Technically the better way to, I don't know, maybe that was the best way to do it actually, because it ensures they can't get a trigger from whatever Big Mom hit in that game. So really cool stuff there. I love playing Black Yellow Linlin. It's one of my absolute favorites, as y'all know. All right, next up we got Red Purple Uta. Red Purple Uta, that's right. I've got a pretty spicy list that I do not think is any good. Just giving y'all, you know, full full transparency up front. All I'm running in this list is straight up high utility cards, 2K counters, rush cards, and then cards that pop based off of power. That's it. That's all you got here. Going against Purple Yellow Crocodile, which I do think this list will be good coming up soon here once it gets Okami My Way, or Okami Way. They're calling it on the, I think it is on the sim. But okay, so right here, Uta. I don't really need to ramp anywhere, and I don't, but what I do want to do is reduce the cost of that character. So I trash my 2K counter film card. It has to be a film card you trash to give minus 2,000 to a character on the board. So he doesn't block with it. Surprisingly, it's like, okay, I'll just pop it with Marco now. But who knows what Nami's running these days, right? No one's really seen many Nami decks, or not Nami, excuse me, Uta decks. You know, not many people have seen these red-purple Uta film decks. I do think there is some potential there. I have not taken the time to really do a deep dive into this deck and try to build it perfectly where there's tons and tons of synergy. But one thing I noticed when I was just trying to put a deck together just for a little, a content type of, just for content reasons, I was like, dang, I've got 24 rush cards in this deck. I think I'm running 4 Zoro, 4 Chihuahua, 4 Kid and Killer, 4 Luffy, and maybe 2 or so Kaido, something like that. Just lots of good stuff. There you go. Marco's just a high value card, just coming in and popping a bong play like that easy. We both have 3 cards left in hand. We both have 3 life, but I have a full board of characters. I can't counter out of that. I'm not going to give him my queen for that. There's no way. I do have a Shanks there. That was perfectly timed, to pop up the same time as his Crocodile. Let's swing 5 at life, see if he wants to give me anything. He does a Hell's Judgment, which is okay, that's completely fine. Let's see if he gets any trigger here. I'm just waiting to see if he's got a trigger or not. Okay, and he does. He plays out Miss Double Finger just to get a body on the board. I play out Shanks, pop his 9K, and I'm in pretty good control of this game. Now, he does get rid of my Marco. In this deck, Marco can't really come back. I don't really have any ways to get Marco back with his on KO effect, but, it's better than nothing. All right, so right here, I'm kind of trying to end the game, see if I can actually end the game here. It's it might be a little risky, but we'll see what we can do. Swing 6 at leader. Swing 7 at leader. See if he wants to give me the 2 cards left in his hand. He doesn't. Swing 12 at leader. And now it's okay, you got 4 cards in hand. Let's just try this. Let's just do it. He has no blocker. We'll swing 10. And doesn't have it. So pause. So in order to get out of a 10K attack, he'd have to have 3 2K counters in hand, or 2 2Ks and 2 1Ks. Very unlikely for him to just top deck that from his life. Okay, good stuff there. That was fun. Like I said, that is not the best Uta deck you'll ever see. I can promise you that. But it was fun having all those rushers. All right, last but not least here, we got Mono Yellow Big Mom. And after these games, I'll show you guys the deck list if anyone wants to try these out. Mono Yellow Big Mom, guys, it's probably going to get better and better as sets go on, because with her effect, once you have 2 or less life cards, you can replace one of those life cards, and that counts for when you have 3 life cards, right? Because with her effect, you take the top card, then it checks, do you have 2 or less life cards? Yes, I do. Now you can place one on top. You can put Onami's, Beige's, whatever on there. Swinging 9 into 5. I got this idea from someone over in the East, someone who was doing some games over in the East. I don't think I copied their version completely, but I tried something very similar because I thought, man, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool effect, or not effect. What's the word for? That's a pretty cool looking deck, basically. Okay, he plays out Sabo here. I'm fine with that. I'll counter out, and I'm gonna play out. I've got 6 Dawn here, so I'm gonna swing 5, see if he gives me free life. Sometimes Black Yellow Luffy players want to do that. They want to go down in life, but I don't know. It depends on. It's not always the best idea. So look what this Edward Newgate gives me on top. I just set 3 triggers straight on the top of my life. So he's going to use Makino here to draw his last life card, or set his last life card. I don't know what he just did. And then Flampy draws him some cards. And now he's going to do some Black Yellow Luffy shenanigans, right? He's going to set his top 2 cards of life. This is a very technical deck, I'll tell you that much right now, especially on the sim. Sometimes you might accidentally misclick and put the wrong card on top that you didn't want on top. So take some time to practice that if you actually want to try this deck out sometime. Swing 7 into life. Okay. Excuse me. I'll take it because it's a Kikanojo. We already set that. I'll take this because I know it's no Nami, and I'll pop your blocker. And now you're in a whole world of trouble. right? I mean, now you're in deep, deep trouble. So he doesn't even, you know, activate his Luffy there because he doesn't want to potentially lose the game from me swinging like 15k at life with that new gate. Okay. So right here, I need to just kind of figure out what I want to do. We'll swing 7 at life because one thing you have to learn about playing against Luffy is you don't want to give him those cards on the board. There's no reason to swing into Ace here. I mean, I guess there's a reason. You could potentially do it, but I don't want that card to go back into his trash because then he can recycle it with his Leader's Effect and with his 2-cost guys. And potentially Gecko Moria when he gets to that far enough in the game. Okay, plays out the new Luffy here. Uses the effect immediately, so showing he is a pretty competent player. He knows what he's doing. But I have 4 life right now. You know, I'm probably going to drop Tinlin next turn. That's what I'm looking at in my hand right now. I don't remember exactly. He takes out my Kikinojo. Sure, I'll gain a life. Absolutely. You know, because I'm in fine shape here. I'm doing just fine. He plays out Sabo. This is a good play, right? This is, like I said, this guy seemed like he's a pretty competent Black-Yellow Luffy player. But Linlin has a lot of good answers against Black-Yellow Luffy. Like right here, he thinks he's safe at 9k, or yeah, at 9,000 base power on his Luffy leader. Oh, nice. I get no Nami there. He played that out of order and got punished a little bit for it. But right here, I just drop a Tinlin. Well, first I see what I can get away with on the board. Okay, he does that. Hang on one second. So I play out the Tinlin, get rid of his last life card. I'm not going to give him those cards on the board, you know, if I can help it. Taking out the Sabo, there's sort of a reason for it, but it's like, no, you know, realistically, I shouldn't, and I don't. I was going to say, I really hope I don't, because that would not be the right play. Let him have Sabo, right? Because first of all, I have 5 life, okay? Second of all, I don't want him recycling the card. There are other ways to recycle it if your opponent doesn't give you the cards, like how I'm depriving him cards right now. He could play out another character and then play out, you know, Gecko Moria. Well, no, see, that becomes very difficult. So right here, what he would have to do, he could still do it. With the 2-cost guys he's going to get back, he could get back a Sabo and... Okay, and then I was going to say Ace, and replace the 2 Sabo and Ace on the board and do exactly what I just said to recur them. That would have been the right call there. He might not have known how to do that through the simulator. Like, maybe he knew how to do that in real life, whoever this guy is, but in the simulator, it is a little bit difficult to, like, pick and choose and move cards around, but that's what he should have done for sure. Swing out with Sabo first to see if anything happens, because it doesn't matter if he gets KO'd, right? Because you want to recycle him with your Gecko Moria's ability anyway. And see, he does have the Sabo in his trash. That was just a straight up play mistake. It happens, you know. And I think that's pretty much it. This guy's taking a while. Remember, we're in 2x speed right now. I take that 200 million volts of Maru. There's no reason for me not to use that here because those other 2 cards are not going to help me win this game. Like, you might think that, like, oh, Katakuri could because you could push one of their blockers out of the way. No, because he's going to be, like, base 9,000 power at all times. Okay, right here he just messes up. It's pretty much over. He takes that one. We're going 12, then we're going 15. Or 14, excuse me, because I went 9, 12, 14. So that was that. Good stuff there. Yellow Linlin feels nice. It's almost like I feel like I've been playing with, like some sort of like handicap on my black Yellow Linlin because she starts with 4 life, but this leader starts at 5 life, which is just, you know, it almost feels like I'm cheating, you know, when you start with that much more life when you're used to starting with a 4 life leader. Really cool stuff there. Okay, so real quick, let's go through the decks and then we'll, you know, and then that'll be it. We got Gecko Moria here. This is the list I believe I was running in the matchup you just saw. I just, you know, this is just a straightforward Gecko Moria list, and I believe I was running Inupe. If not, I was running Sabo. I've been testing Inupe. The only card that might be different on this list that I can see is this might be Sabo instead of Inupe. Okay, next up was Black Yellow Linlin. Where is that at? I think I called it Clean 0. Yep, yeah, this is it. So this is the Black Yellow Linlin list that I was running. It is just a straight up like tanker bruiser build where I have tons and tons of blockers. I have the Land of Wano package right here with Hiyori and Kikinojo and Momonosuke. I've got Thunderbolts and Onamis to pop people out of life to potentially punish them for, you know, as I'm cycling through my life. And then I've got an incredible, like, listen to this curve if I could potentially get it. It doesn't always work out this way. But, you know, Hiyori set a Kikinojo on top of life. Borsalino into Brook, into Gecko Moria, into Linlin. That's one of the strongest even curves you could ever possibly have in the game right now. I guess you could argue that instead of running Brook, maybe running 6-cost Sakazuki would be better, but that's a preference thing. Okay, well, there's that. Next I've got Red Purple Uta. This list is embarrassing, to be honest. This is not deck building at its finest. So just to understand what's going on here. I just wanted to try the deck out and get a feel for it. I do want to revisit this deck sometime because it has a lot of options here. Like, you know, it has options for Kaido. Of course, it's got the 10-cost Shanks. You can ramp inherently with the leader. You have ways to recur the cards back that you're throwing in the trash to ramp with your leader with this this Guild Tesoro guy. Even just late in the game, you can get back your 2K counters. Like this guy's, he gets, what is it? On play, Don -1 if your leader's film. Add 2 cost 4 or lower film type character cards from your trash to your hand. So when it's late in the game, you usually want to drop a body down. He's a 1K counter as well. You're going to be able to get back, you know, your Shikis, your Sagas, and your Buena Fiestas. Buena Fiesta also doubles over as a searcher for film cards. Not the greatest thing I'm trying to do with this deck. Like it's not exactly great to use him as a film searcher, but I do have some targets, right? Like Shiraya, excuse me, yeah, Shiraya, Shanks, Saga, Shiki, Guild Tesoro, and I think that's it. He doesn't have a ton of targets, but he's not really meant to. It's really meant to be a 2K counter, and it's something I can get back that has utility with my Guild Tesoro later in the game. And then just straight rush, guys. Look at this. Like I said, 4 Luffys, 4 Kid and Killer, 4 Chihuahuas, 4 Zoros, and 2 Kaidos. So what is that? 4, 8, 12, so 14. Not 20. I think I said 20 before. Oh, wait. 4, 8, 12, 16, 18. Almost 20. Almost 20 rushers. This deck was fun. Again, I don't even know if I'd try this deck if I were you, but maybe it'll give you some inspiration to build something later with it. Last up, we got what I call Big Mommy on the sim here. We got mono yellow Charlotte Linlin. This deck just felt smooth. I only played a few games with it, but it does feel smooth. It's kind of just, I mean, imagine this. Katakuri's doing really well right now, right? Well, this deck can do exactly the same as Katakuri can. It just swings for 1,000 power less per turn. And I get it. That's, you know, that is a detriment or whatever you want to call it. Like that is not as good, right? But the nice thing about Linlin is she sort of plays around Nami in a few ways. I'm not saying that Katakuri has any problem with Nami. Katakuri does not have any problem going against Nami, you know, when piloted correctly and all that. But Charlotte Linlin just says, okay, I'm just going to start getting my own life then. I'll swing 7 you and just draw my own life and just go down. I think she can get down to, you know, 2 or 3 life very easily by herself without taking any hits. Other than that, you got the straight Big Mom package, you know, the searchers and putting in Perispero, the big stuff with the 2 Linlins and Katakuri. I was trying out Edward Newgate. Really wasn't that bad. Newgate was not bad in this kind of deck because if you have 4 or 5 life, think about it. You draw the top card. Like let me read what he does for those who don't know. So he's a 6-cost, 7,000 power 1K counter. Like there is no real downside to playing the card. But then on top of that, on play, add the top card of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then look at all your life cards and place 1 on the top of your deck. Return the remaining cards in your desired order. So you see what that does, right? So like let's just say you go through 5 cards. You know, let's say you have 4 cards. You'll put the top card of your deck into your life. You'll arrange 4 of them and put 1 back on the top of your deck. Like, you'll get to set all your triggers. You know it's coming. You establish a 6-cost 7K. This card's really strong. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of it, but maybe that's just a testimony to how powerful triggers are with cards like Kikinojo and Yellow. Good stuff otherwise. Satori, just self-explanatory 2K counter. Beige, 2K counter. And then 1 searchable 2K counter in Amande. Hidatsu, 200 million volts Maru. Y'all see what's going on there. But yeah, well, that's about it, guys. Like I said, or like I always say, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please don't hesitate to put it down below in the comment section below. And hope you guys enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.